Fort Knox is about to be audited, and that's imminent. And you're going to see that gold reserves are little to none. What do you think that'll do to the price of gold? And with silver being ransacked with COMEX on the markets, that's sure to follow as well. The only question is, are you going to take action or not? If you haven't, what are you waiting for? And if you have, please take a moment to visit one of our great sponsors here below, the link in the description, and call for the information. It's free. The consultation is free. The cost of not taking advantage of this has lasting consequences, folks. Please tell them John and Chris sent you. You'll be more than happy that you did. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to our monthly Perium Seminar podcast that we have with one and only collaborator and marketing director, Ian Farrar from Perium. You know him well by now, his mug. And we're going to go over the latest Perium updates for products and different testimonials and different things that he wants to share. And stay tuned because we have some other interesting little tidbits about Ian that you did not know that I think will contribute to the tenor of our overall podcast theme quite well. If you are new to the channel, please do like, subscribe, and share as it helps the channel grow and others gain in the knowledge you are afforded. Ian, how are you doing today, good sir?
Pretty good, man. Blessed and highly favored.
That's a great way to look at it. I love it. And well, so we're in a new month now, March, and it's already moving forward, as you know. I would like to share the screen on a couple of things with you just to get your organic dialogue on it. So if you'll indulge me, please. We have a new product here coming out now that I believe came out last month and then became available. So I'm going to take advantage of it when I pick it up this month. And that is the aforementioned Aqua Vibrance. Can you talk a little bit about the benefits of it and, you know, now that it's out and what that does for people in general?
Yeah, this is a really, really significant product because, you know, all of us are water walking around and most people are not drinking the best quality water. If you're drinking water out of a plastic bottle, of course, you have to deal with a lot of the microplastics, and a lot of that water tends to be, you know, really dead. It doesn't really have the mineralization. It's best to drink water out of a spring, and most people don't have access to a spring. I personally buy Mountain Valley water in glass. I've been buying cases and cases of that for a long time, and then I kind of doctor my water. That leads me into the new product launch that Purium just announced. It's called Aqua Vibrance. It's this product right here, and this is black mica. These are sulfated minerals that actually help restructure the water, oxygenate the water. So you don't have to buy one of those expensive machines, because those machines actually put the water through electrolysis. It puts an electric current through the water, which alters the pH, technically microclusters the water, it doctors the water, it manufactures the water, whereas black mica is from the earth. And I have a PI sheet here next to me. I'm going to just read off some of the benefits. So it really gives the water a mineral infusion. So it adds essential sulfated minerals for optimal hydration and cellular support. It enhances the conductivity because we're electric beings and we need mineralization in order to do this. You need minerals in order for the brain to tell my finger to do this. Most people's bodies still do this, but for how long? So the human body, unfortunately, deals with a lot of chronic vitamin and mineral deficiencies, which leads to the breakdown and the lack of function of the body. So the next thing here, which is really cool, is reduces surface tension. That means that anything that you add to the Aqua Vibrance, like the Power Shake, for example, which is one of our superfoods, it's going to make it more bioavailable and more readily used, the nutrition. So that is an awesome product. So the last thing, which is important to all of us, is that it improves the oxygen absorption. Most people have clogged up bodies. A lot of the problems that human beings come in contact with today is a low oxygen concentration and not enough nutrition. Okay, you could sum up a lot of the diseases: lack of nutrition and lack of the body respirating properly. Okay, the colon, believe it or not, is where we really respirate, and of course we get the oxygen from breathing with our lungs. But if your colon is clogged, that's going to create a problem. So this product really helps restructure the water, oxygenate the water, enhances the absorption of everything you consume it with. So you're going to use 1 drop per ounce of water, and then you leave it for, you know, a minute, 2 minutes, 30 minutes. And if you leave it in there long enough, you're going to see the flocculants. You're going to see all of the debris that shouldn't be in the water drop to the bottom. I've been using this ingredient for a long time. I used to process my water in 5 gallon glass containers overnight, and it came through my water filter, which I know was good, but there were a lot of things that it drops out which become inert. So if you want to process your water, say you're out in wherever and there's just a stream, you're not sure of the water, you could put this in there and it become drinkable. Because a lot of people, a lot of human beings today do not have access to clean drinking water. This solves that. When Fukushima happened in Japan, they used this also to work on the radiation. So this is a remarkable product. Okay, our member price, loyal price, is like $34.75. It's very obtainable. It lasts a long time, and you could travel on a plane with it if you want. It's 3.4 ounces, so it falls under the 4 ounce threshold to get on a plane with too. It's great stuff.
Oh, perfect. Now, the black mica, do you know where that's sourced, Ian, by chance?
I think Dave gets it from Mars. I'm kidding, haha. I actually don't know where they get the black mica, but I think it comes from somewhere very pristine, and I could get that information. I just don't have that at the tip of
Sure.
my.
No, no problem. We can redress that in the next one. So basically, Ian, in parlance for people, I know they would understand, but just a nice way, sort of give it an analogy. It's almost like a human fuel injecting cleaner system for the body.
Yeah, it does.
Essence, right?
Yeah, and it really it makes your water a wetter water. It really enhances cellular hydration by working on the ORP, which is the oxidative reduction potential of the water. Okay, so it's very important that one have, a high ORP of anything that they consume, because a lot of people are consuming things that are dead. I mean, Coca-Cola and a lot of other things that people drink. Technically, they're fluids, but they actually dehydrate the body. They don't give to the body, they take from the body. So at Purium, we're giving to the human organism the how do I say it? The working blocks, the foundational blocks
Building blocks.
that the body needs, for potential.
Yeah, I think it's basically rehydrating the cellular walls and
Mhm.
blocks of the body to help it function, like you said, all the way
Yeah. Building
from
blocks,
building
building
blocks,
blocks.
building blocks, like when we were kids, from
Right.
like the mouth all the way to the colon, right? So from
Yeah.
beginning to end of body of nutrient life cycle, we could say.
Yeah. And the one thing I want to add too is that,
Yeah, please.
if people aren't having proper bowel movements, that's a sign of dehydration right there. Most people are
Mm,
drinking the wrong things. I mean, if you drink coffee, there's nothing wrong with coffee, but coffee actually dehydrates the body. So sleeping for 8 hours, hopefully, and then waking up and your first consumption is coffee, you're dehydrating yourself again, you're stressing your adrenals. So first thing in the morning, I'm doing, about 12 to 14 drops of Aqua Vibrance in my Can't Beat This, which is my oxygenating red drink that Purium has to offer. And then I take my supplementation with that. And then I go on to my next step of my day. But hydration is everything. Okay. Without a properly hydrated body, you're cruising for, a lot of problems that people don't see as
mm.
chronic dehydration.
100%. Now we talked a minute ago, Ian, about the sort of the staple or the home-based product of the Power Shake, which, as
Yeah.
everybody knows, I use that every single day. It's my staple, along with the dark berry, which, by the way, I love. By the way, you're getting your fruits, but you're also getting the collagen supplement, which is
Yeah.
win-win from the most
Hmm.
pure source. But there was something I wanted to share with you on, as you know, the Purium website, which I thought was curious. I'm going to pull it up now. Let me know when you see it. Uh, this article caught my attention, talking about the Appleberry Power Shake now being organic. Can you touch on that a little bit about what the significance of that is for people who are either thinking about using this product or actually using it?
Yeah, I mean, Purium is actually a certified organic manufacturer. The rice bran solubles, which is the first ingredient in the product,
Mhm.
it comes from Thailand, and we had the relationship with this farm for many years. They were a
Okay.
certified organic manufacturing facility and farm. It was sold, and the company didn't renew the new owner didn't renew that certification. So even though the raw material is the same, it couldn't be certified organic, because Dave and Amy are very, very transparent when it
Sure.
comes to whatever they put on a package. Because if you put something on a package that's not necessarily where you're getting it from, that could get you in a lot of hot water with USDA organic. So we are officially organic again with the Rice Bran Solubles, because of our affiliation with the current supplier, from what I know, which is really
Mhm.
important so that, you know, the product is exceptional, even though it doesn't have the USDA organic label on it, and everything else is organic with the exception of the Rice Bran Solubles. So the new batch, I think, I mean, I have boxes here that I've yet to open. I'm probably going to see that USDA organic symbol on there again, which is really important for people to see, because when it comes to supplementation, when it comes to what's offered online today, it's a real mess. There are companies out there that just are selling a bunch of things that have a lot of excipients, binders, fillers, and
Mhm.
isolates, added vitamins, which are foreign chemicals to the body.
Gotcha. Okay. So I just thought that was an interesting tidbit for people to know that the product was already good and it's just getting better, basically.
Yeah.
That's
Well, getting back to the way it was,
the way it
and
was. Yeah.
yeah,
Status quo. Yeah.
and Dave and Amy being transparent that, like, you know
Mhm.
what, you know, we can't continue to like have it as organic, even though the facility, the raw materials are, but they don't have a certification. It's all about certification. Okay, it's
Yeah.
just, if you're a certified organic manufacturer at Organic by Nature in Southern California, where you get your raw materials from needs to be just as in compliance, if that makes sense.
Completely. I mean, I love the fact that Purium has always been above board, ethical, and transparent, much like what we deal with our other sponsors for the financial side.
Yeah,
And that if it's just like what Elon says, if you make a mistake, you own it, you're transparent, and then you set about fixing it and
right.
improving and increasing the standard to an exponential level, which Amy and Dave have always done from my limited
Yeah,
experience with
and
them.
that's why I aligned myself with them like 23 years ago, because of their transparency and their commitment to providing the best product to the end consumer. I was the manufacturer's rep prior to Purium going direct to consumer, and I knew that their products were not compromised. There's a lot of marketing and sales going on out there, and there's a lot of products that are compromised, and there's a lot of companies
Mhm.
that just are in it for the profit. Hey, Purium is pro-profit. There's nothing wrong with that, but integrity is everything with the company.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to sacrifice integrity for profitability. Those
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be one or the other. There's a place or balance in
okay.
both. Um, Now that we're transitioning, Ian, from the end of winter into spring, are there any
Mhm.
products that you would recommend for people to help balance them out as we make that transition? Or is there any other
Yeah,
new products you want to discuss?
yeah, like, when people, the change of seasons is a good time to give the digestive system a rest and maybe do a cleanse. So the ultimate lifestyle transformation, actually, I got it. It's kind of heavy. This right here is the bigger box. This is like your 30-day program. The box behind me is our Daily Core 4, which is the foundation. And this has the Super Cleanse R, which is our parasite elimination that starts on day 11. So this, if one wants to, like, clean out the body, get the body prepared for bathing suit season, or being out without your shirt if you're self-conscious, I think it's good to do a ultimate lifestyle transformation, because it will really reset your body. And I'm all about that seasonal changeover.
100%. Any other new products or anything on the horizon you can discuss?
Let me see. Well, Aqua Vibrance is the latest new one, which is fantastic. Um, I think Dave's going to be coming out with a plant-based DHA EPA product, it's
Right.
omega-3 product, which is
Mhm.
pretty essential. There is some chia, and there's of course spirulina in a lot of our products. You do get traces of omega-3.
Mhm.
Omega-3 is really important for the cell membrane integrity. Okay, if the cell membrane gets very stiff and it breaks, that cell is going to die. And if you are producing more healthy cells faster than cells dying, okay, you're moving in the right direction. So omega-3s are really important to that cell membrane permeability, because when it gets, rigid, when it gets really stiff,
Mm.
stuff can't get across the cell membrane to get absorption and get toxins out. So omega-3 in a nutshell is, I mean, bears are really important, really, excuse me, really, really smart. I mean, look at all the salmon that they catch right out of the water. They're eating the skin of the fish, and that's the most abundant source of the omega-3 fats.
Hmm. Good point. Good point. Thank you for that. So now I'm going to throw the audience and you, Ian, a little bit of a wild card. We've talked about this, you and I, in the past, but many people don't know you the way I do in the aspect of not just the health side, but you're pretty expertly adept in the financial side, which you know is the bane of our existence. So I would
Yeah,
like to share with you a couple of slides and get your visceral reaction to them.
cool. Great.
One of which is coming up in a couple of days. Let me know when you can see the screen. And we have an unprecedented crypto conference everybody knows about for the first time with President Trump on the back
Yeah,
of his great speech last night. And we're not here to get political. We're just making a point. But XRP, I've been invested in, you've invested in it for even longer. It's been widely discussed in our channel that, and from our team, that once XRP is announced on Friday, this could come out of the gate between $10 and $30, which we believe is a sweet spot for some of the currencies. So can you talk about that a little bit?
yeah, I can. And John, thank you so much for the opportunity because
Sure.
I spent a good amount of my time with the XRP family community. I'm actually seeing Mel Carmine this weekend for the Quantum Summit.
Mhm.
Purium's going to be a sponsored vendor there. And of
Sure.
course, I'm an XRP investor, have been for over 5 years. And
Mhm.
this is going to be remarkable. Okay, Brad Garlinghouse, who's Ripple's CEO, he's going to be there. And I think, given the fact that XRP is in the center, it's going to be the centerpiece, given
Exactly.
the utility and what XRP really does within this financial system. Now, the other ones that are on there, fantastic, but this is going to be a very, very historic day because you know what happened in 2020, okay? And there's been this up and down, and the Ripple case with the SEC is the last one that they need to
Bogus.
sort because there was a judgment and they need to get it settled and
Yep.
cleared out.
Yep. Yep. And a lot of people on different financial channels are talking about that bogus case finally being resolved.
Yeah,
It's just a delay tactic by Gensler and the old henchman of the SEC, which has now been extricated, thankfully, and the new people are obviously right on board with it. So I think it's
yeah,
just a matter of time before optically this thing is dissolved.
exciting. It's really exciting.
And one thing I'd like you to talk about, Ian, because I mean, I've been investing in XRP for 3 years, and we're not financial advisors, folks. It's not constitutes financial advice. We're just giving you good knowledge for your discernimental ability. Now that we got that
Yeah.
disclaimer out of the way, you see it's in the center, central nervous system. If you could give people sort of your vantage point on how that is going to be the backbone of the new blockchain for the ISO 20022 and how that effectuates a lot of the foreign currencies that we're in and bonds and other things.
Yeah, this is a remarkable technology. Okay. I mean, a lot of people that were involved with Bitcoin in the beginning days, they figured out its flaws, and XRP is actually a better Bitcoin. And 3.5 second transaction time could do up to 2,000 transactions per second. This is why when the new financial system gets turned on, a lot of this movement of Swift, the tokenization of assets, Forex, whatever you want to call it, is going to move through
Mm-hmm.
XRP. Okay. I mean, this technology, okay, this is a financial technology. I decided to invest in the financial technology, not the hype around what crypto prices could skyrocket to. I invested in something that I knew that was going to really run the global finance of things. And that's what people have to understand. People want instant. I mean, the people that are buying XRP today, your time horizon is like this.
Yeah.
People like us that have been buying and are being invested for 3 to 5 years, going through this whole case, we've had to have a very, very strong emotional and mental situation, if you know what I mean.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, love and relational love and wealth are intertwined in the aspect
Yeah,
of that takes patience and endurance.
yeah,
It's not for the faint of heart, but the benefits are long lasting. Now,
yeah,
just your own personal opinion here, because you've been in
yeah.
this long and I have been. Once the crypto summit takes place on Friday and the transactions that happen on the aftermath of that, and let's say it does hit that $10 to $30 beginning mark to move upward,
Yeah.
how long would you surmise in your hypothesis that we will see that bogus case be released?
I think the appeal being dropped and
Mm-hmm.
settlement Probably days to maybe a few weeks, if that.
Yeah,
Okay, and John, listen, I had an epiphany last night, okay, and I
please.
know you're affiliated with the precious metals, and so am I. In 1933, Roosevelt called in the gold from the US public, okay?
Mhm.
Not many people complied, but they got some gold, and then they once they got the gold, they bid up the price. Okay.
Right.
This is what I foresee happening. Okay. Now, whether Ripple gives a chunk of their escrow or the United States government actually buys XRP at $2.49 right now, once they hold it in the reserve, don't you think that once they hold it in the reserve, I mean, Bitcoin's at already a high price, okay? Once they hold it in the reserve, don't you think that they're gonna let the floodgates open, okay? And all the exchanges are gonna get tapped, banks, countries are gonna be buying it. There's
Yep.
only 100 billion given the way this financial instrument works, okay? So
Mhm.
this came to me last night, and
Mm.
I'm like, the Trump's gonna use the Roosevelt card. Okay. And he has an incredible relationship with Brad Garlinghouse. They met at
Yep.
Mar-a-Lago. He's been was at the inauguration. So I know there's some other, kids on the block as part of that reserve. But when
Mhm.
it comes to the high profile nature of Ripple, all of their relationships and how amazing this technology is, I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Either they're going to like get escrow and then like, okay, we got it right now. Guess what, Paul Atkins? Boom. Because Mark Ureta and Hester Pierce, they're actually holding positions at the SEC right now until Paul Atkins gets confirmed, because there's a lot of paperwork that the White House hasn't completed yet for him to
Mhm.
go through that process. That's why there's a backlog right now of him being technically confirmed. So, okay, if the Roosevelt card is in place, the people that even have a few hundred XRP, a thousand, 2,000 XRP are going to do incredibly well. And the United States, it's going to underpin the dollar along with my favorite metal as well.
Yep. So bottom line, Ian, housing all this together, you would see March as a likely possibility for
Yes.
it to occur. Okay.
Yeah, it's March, the latest April, and and the floodgates are going to open. Of course, on X, which I'm recently on X, I spent a lot of time on YouTube and Instagram, but there's several people that I follow on YouTube that are actually on X, and
Right.
the writing is literally on the wall right now. If you haven't purchased XRP, now we're not advocating that you buy XRP. We're not financial advisors, but
Right.
this is something that I've been near and dear with for over 5 years. I've been in digital assets since 17. I got away from all the hype. I got away from the bad technologies, and I got into, what ISO 20022 is about. I got into the Internet of Value, really understanding what's being put in place right now. And I couldn't be more excited. I mean, in fact, my wife she got me a chain, and I actually got a XRP pendant, and it actually
Nice.
shows on the back of the pendant the timestamp of my last purchase. And yeah, my last buy in November was 70 cents. And then at the end of November, we know what happened. It's-
Yeah. And
yeah.
this is going to make that look like a small cold.
Yeah. I mean, it's $3 to $5, $5 to $10.
Right.
I mean, it has to go to a much higher price.
It'd be double digits this month, no problem.
Yes.
Easily. One
Y-
last, thank you for that. Let me, one last little wild card I want to throw at you. You didn't know
Yeah.
this was coming, but this is pretty exciting because this also has implications as well. Um, Crude oil
Yeah.
futures actually started below 65 today. We've been saying to our audience with respect to the dinar and their vast oil reserves over there, among other things, that President Trump is making deals. He's paying off the current $16 as a baseline price for the price of oil, right? For per barrel over there. So at 65, it's basically a 3x move, right? Which is
Yep.
just enough to bend their knee to their will that they're going to have to show some of the other assets and things like that as they've now satisfied the Kurdistan region. How significant do you think this move of this pricing is as it effectuates and relates to the economies, both here and overseas?
It's gonna have a pretty big factor. I mean, people still drive gas cars,
Yep.
and of
Yep.
course, we know where Europe gets most of its oil, if you know what I mean. So,
Uh huh.
um, and it's kind of floating right now. I don't think the US dollar even backs, I don't think there's a petrodollar anymore.
No,
But yeah, we live, I mean, do you remember when crude oil actually went to zero?
I do.
Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of financial magic. Okay. I mean, technically, I don't believe everything I see on the chart. And when you're still on a fiat system, because I think what we were talking about before is going to usher in a new system.
Mhm.
And it's not going to be the CBT. You need to scan your eyes to get access to your money. It's not going to be that way. But when it comes to the commodities, whether it be physical silver, physical gold, wheat, corn, and oil, I think things are going to begin to be priced differently, if you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying.
Mhm.
So
I do.
yeah,
That's why I
so I
wanted to expand your knowledge base on that as
Yeah,
the audience to see.
I'm not as astute on those commodities as you are. I
Sure,
tend to really, my wheelhouse more is more in the precious metals, given,
sure.
the Andy Shechtman narrative, with
Right,
what's going on with, COMEX and LBNA and all that, and the
right.
manipulation of the price. Of course, oil's heavily manipulated as well. But I'm super bullish on commodities.
Well, Andy, we've had him on our podcast every month. He's one of our other
It's
sponsors,
great.
and
It's
he's
great.
great. No, he's a great guy. Broke bread
Yeah.
with him in Florida, as you know, last year. Fabulous family. But but you have enough of a proficiency in finances to understand the importance of oil as it relates to these things. I was just trying to make a tie-in.
Yeah, it's incredibly important. Okay, the
Yeah,
whole world economy still runs on it. Okay, when
yeah.
it comes to the crude, when it comes to shipping, when it comes to just, the FedEx truck coming, Amazon. I know there's some electric vehicles coming out, but we still need these types of energies for our modern economy. It's kind of like a 20th century, energy in
Yeah.
the 21st century, because we're only 25 years, we're only a quarter of a century into this new millennium, if you know what I
Hmm.
mean.
Hmm.
And I think, with all the different propulsion systems that are going to be coming out, I think
Little
or
hint there.
meet George Jetson.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And other things. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Well, as we wrap up today, last thoughts you have for the audience and folks before he does that. If you are already a customer, thank you for your support. You can use my code GD Health, which Ian will tell you about in a moment. You can
Yeah.
take, I believe it's, was it, what's the again, if it's a
Yeah.
$50 order, what's,
So
yeah.
if someone wants to place an order for the Aqua Vibrance, the ultimate lifestyle transformation, the power shake, you're going to get $50 off when you spend $75 at Purium. As soon as you hit $200, you're going to get 25% off on the whole order. So when you go to the website at ishoppurium.com and you load a cart, it's going to show you the it's going to show you one of these in the cart, like you're getting $50 off. And it
Mhm.
shows you that if you get to the next threshold, you're going to get the big spender discount, which is a lot more than 50 off. And if you have any questions, I am giving my contact information to all of you for a 30-minute free consultation on whatever ails you or whatever goals you have. I have over 30 years in the health and wellness space, and I'm here to help make America the healthiest and the greatest ever.
Absolutely. Yeah. Do take advantage of that, folks, for the
Yeah.
consultation. It really is a great way to, especially when you're starting with the product. So I
Yep.
use it. I've had really great success for every year. That's why Ian's here. And
Mhm.
really appreciate the ownership's transparency and knowledge base as well. Ian Farrar from Imperium, co-branding partner. Thank you for being here, good sir. Appreciate you. And we'll look forward to seeing you again here shortly.